Good morning. So I had a message in my inbox on Pros from Dusty Grind, who's one of our resident legends, and he's kind of like my E.F. Hutton, one of them on Pros. I'm dating myself, but when E.F. Hutton talks, I listen. So he said, "Hey Jeff, I know you don't get a chance to read all of these messages quickly, but I wanted to let you know you should read this post by Alyce. I think it deserves to be spotlit. She touched my heart deeply with it, and it should touch every man who has ever assumed the title of daddy, which has been mine for 38 years now." So, never to go unheard. This is one, it's a really nice addition to Pros to the family. She's an amazing writer and writes from the body, from the heart, and Dusty has a keen eye, and I like to think I do too, depending on the level of the night before. But I did read her 2 posts that she has so far on Pros, and I was really, really happy to read this new writer. So, without further ado, let's jump into this. Daddy's Little Girl. The first man I ever loved was my dad. He was a small, ineffectual man who drank, sang songs, and on his nights off would go dancing with my mom. He also had a red-hot temper, a hard-working man, charming. Everyone loved him. I saw the whole world in his eyes and listened to his every word. I was proud to be his little girl. He wanted me to stay small. I wasn't allowed to eat too much because I might get fat, like my mom. Must not eat, I thought to myself, carefully calculating morsels of food at 7 years young, barely able to stay awake at school and have enough energy for dance. I couldn't grow taller because I needed to stay small, smaller than his 5'2" stature. But I grew. Everything grew. My breasts, my hips, my height. I tried to prevent it, but nothing worked. A finger down my throat might do the trick. I wanted nothing but to stay his little girl. I could tell things were changing between us. He didn't want a teenager. I had to stay his little girl. At the age of 14, my mom left by provocation, and I was told by my dad we were going to live with his new girlfriend and her son. In shock, I gathered my things. It was all going to be fine. I just had to trust him, so I did, like always. But it wasn't. She decided it was her life's mission to make me small and insignificant to their lives. Abuse, neglect, gaslighting. I spent many nights alone, idle and frozen, waiting for him to come home. Anxiety set in. He was my best friend, once, and I had no idea what I did wrong. He chose her. She was tall and looked like a stereotypical stepmother from a Disney movie. All she did was yell and throw things at me, and he let her. Depression set in. It was official. I was no longer his whole world, his little girl. Disdain and anger seethed out of him whenever he spoke to me, barely looked at me. His words picked me apart little by little until I was small and ineffectual, insignificant. He couldn't see I was killing myself for him. By the time they kicked me out at 15, in the winter, I had no home and no house left to go to. I was alone, broken, afraid, small, so small, my light dimmed, used, abused, shattered. He lied to me. It was all supposed to be okay. So you see, no man could ever break me now. No, I was broken long ago by the ineffectual man who stood at 5'2", my dad. And let's go bottom to top. Chris Sandhill, sorry this happened to you. This encourages me to try harder. And of course, Dusty writes, this was intense, deep, raw, heartbreaking, and absolutely beautiful in its execution. Yeah. And then Mariah wrote, heartbreaking. And Alyce wrote, not the greatest dad, LOL. There are definitely worse though. Yeah, there are. But this is beautiful, Alyce. I like too that I read this cold, and I like this part here. I should have said until I was small and ineffectual, but it's too late, baby, now it's too late. Okay, let's go to this one. Yeah, this tab. This is Alyce B, Let It Be, and this is her other post, Untethered. Iceberg eyes shoot towards me like spears piercing through my soul, exposing me. Knocked on my metaphorical ass. I feel naked, aware, terrified, alive in their presence. Immediately I question, am I a fraud in my own life? My hand says, taken, but my eyes say, take me away from here. If only we met before I went down this straight and narrow path. Still, if you asked, would I ruin it all for you? I try my best not to stare in awe when you speak so passionately about the topics you feel so strongly. Words tangle in your tongue, and the exuded passion makes me weak. You have passed since we last saw each other, yet I'm undone once again by your intoxicating presence, utterly and completely untethered. Mamba weighed in on this one. Love, love, love. Yeah, me too. It's funny, when I first started reading this, I was thinking about, like, imposter syndrome, right? But it goes so much deeper than that. Yeah. What a sweetheart. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I feel so inspired and my cup is full. Well, good. And Chris, of course, and yeah, this is a beautiful interaction. Yeah, Dave, of course. Great advice. Yeah, this is just... Okay, so I'm going to link her profile, as usual, in the description here. Alyce B, Let It Be, welcome to prose, and I must read more. So, post more, give us more, and I'm going to get out of here. You guys, thank you for being here, and I will talk to you in the next video. Take good care.